Yeah. Yeah, all to this. But yeah, yeah.
So you can see.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Okay. The whole chart. And I just wrote it off, so. Yeah.
No, it's.
And my dad's about 130. My years it would be. It's serious. But.
Sure. That's okay. It's Chrissy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like so shy. That's a lot. Yeah.
Or.
They're the fire.
What time?
Good.
I don't know, is anyone else?
Director Norma's on.
Oh, there.
Oh, no,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna get going here. Call the meeting to order for the Guam, Joint Soil Water Conservation District Board's meeting. Today is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. The time is 4:08 p.m. We're in our location here at University Room 104, CNS building. We are also on our online. So. You want to have it confirmed?
So I acknowledge call to order. Between the northern and the southern Guam soil and water conservation district, so to call a meeting to order, in order to call it to order, let's call for a quorum now. Okay,
Yeah, we'll call for a roll call. You can go first if you want.
okay,
You'll have your.
okay, so for the northern, the roll call, so Chris is already over here. Director Bill, here. State Director Norma,
Here,
Director Joe. Director Bill Santos, absent, and Director Frank Santos. Okay, also absent. But yes, yeah, so the north has a one.
Okay. So for the southern, Yvonne, you want to do the roll call? please?
Yes, Chairperson Michael Uggett,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Glenn Takai,
He's absent, right? He's off items already, yeah.
District Director Dr. Glenn Yula,
Present.
District Director Martha Tenorio, present. District Director Yvonne McWatton, present.
Okay, so southern also has a forum. You want to note the staff present, so Yvonne, since you're already on it, go ahead.
District Administrator Erica Pangilinan. Conservation Technician Madeline Flores. Project Director Geraldine Gatlin. President Conservation Associate Galen Pangilinan. President Conservation Associate Jonathan Borba.
Present. Okay, thanks. I'd like to ask if this gentleman could call these small board at staff. Roll call.
District Manager General Abenales, President. Conservation Technician Samantha Garcia, President. Conservation Technician Javen Cruz, President. Outreach Specialist, Rosanna Rosario, President.
Okay, but for the record, our advisor, Mark Acosta is. He's off item, yeah.
Okay.
I
We have to call our advisor or all in favor.
Present. Okay, let's move on to the next item. We're gonna do just some short welcoming remarks here, just to get things going. So I'll go first.
Yes.
You don't mind. Just want to welcome everybody here for our joint meeting, especially the new members. Whoever staff and board members to this new member, this joint venture, joint meeting. And you know, we gathered here for this in order to work out for all of whatever programs and projects that we're working on, collaborating, doing things like that. So we just want to get together, and it's required by law. So you know, so basically that's, you know, so there's some. That's it.
Yeah, for my opening remarks, granted, I do recognize I'm a new, chairman in this position. I do have a lot to learn, and certainly not gonna happen overnight. But, in time, I get to learn more about the districts and the collaboration between the two. That to me is the first step to taking the initiative to keep this collaboration as cohesive as possible. And to, again, to improve all of our to improve all of our objectives with the farmers and the community as a whole. And yeah, so I recognize that even being in a position, it's something that I plan to and pledge to improve the collaboration between the districts. So that's
Okay, just a quick note before we move on, because you know, there's things here we're gonna be talking about at that, making motion and stuff, so. We only. Oh, or really, there's no format or guidance by all that. Dictate how to run the biannual meeting. And so, you know, if everybody was present, it would be an equal board, 5 of them or 5 of the South. And, you know, yeah, so, that's something we need to work on in the future to kind of rectify that. But right now, we don't really have that, so maybe. We'll do, if there's anything like accepting like the minutes or something like that, we'll just don't longer than so. Is that, Robin, what do you think?
It's your meeting,
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want. But I would just say keep it simple,
yeah,
and every time you have a meeting, you just have an agenda, and it just goes across both sides. This is not either or. This is about coming together, about being more collaborative. So and trying to make the project over this overall. So normally one chairman chooses to lead, and then normally alternate, just to make things.
and then we'll just keep going from there, but, okay, we'll try it.
How is it, how money by the open?
No, we're just trying to make sure we do the right thing and,
yeah.
and work it with you, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So, you know, let's just do it like that for now. Anyways, right now, there is an imbalance between the district because of the.
Right.
So, but you know, I think we'll be okay. We'll just do one.
As long as we're not formed, so,
Yeah.
but I guess my next question would be, do we still have to, do we follow Robert's rules of order? For this type of meeting, I mean,
Well, we've normally been doing that practice, right?
okay.
Right, so I guess, you know, where we're coming from is when we come together as both boards, we're a 10-member body, which is wonderful. We're making decisions and whatnot so there's usually a metric for attention. But we're just trying to, I guess, solidify or get more where we have procedural methods to the way we conduct business as a joint body. We can probably work on that in the future. We recognize that
So,
it is up to us, but
so if I hear what you're saying, is you want to develop some SOPs or operating procedures
Yeah,
to do, yeah, that's.
Yeah. and we can do that,
Yeah,
for the next time.
and more than anything, you need to document it, to institutionalize it, so we
Exactly,
don't have this conversation again.
yeah, correct.
Right.
So for today.
It's very rude.
We're not trying to keep it as small.
But yeah, generally we do, Robert's rules is the way, but we're, you know, we're not a big organization and all that, so we kind of like hold it down and then, you know, just kind of, you know. But normally like I conduct my meeting. You don't necessarily call for a vote, everybody, you know, we just, as long as there's no objections. So we, but I think because we have two boards, I don't know, what do you think, Robert, what is? Vote or?
You don't have two votes, you have one organization. The only thing we have are the, well, oh, excuse me, switching hat, I went GACD, I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's where I was trying to go. You do have two boards. But I really, if you did your SOPs, many gentlemen meetings, they're relatively loose, but when something comes up, you need to be debate or
Yeah.
something, then you can automatically insert Robert's rule.
Yeah.
But they should be following generally Robert's rules, just to what they agree, it's up to the consensus of the body.
Okay, with that said, number two, the acceptance of the agenda. So. A motion to accept.
Fine. Give me about like 2-3 minutes to.
Oh. Okay,
Okay. Or
go ahead. Okay, so can we have that motion to accept the agenda as published?
Chair,
Yes,
move to approve the agenda as published.
thank you. Second?
A second.
Oh, okay. Any objections or any discussion? There's nothing. It can't be changed, so without any objections, so just move on, okay? Yeah. Thank you. And then item number 4 is approval of the previous joint meeting minutes, November 21st, 2024. I would like a motion for that also.
We to approve the minutes for November 21st, 2025.
Okay,
Second.
okay, thank you. Any comments on the minutes or any discussion there? None? Okay, no objection, so moved. Okay, thanks. And then number 5 is that district reports, we want to go first, but you want to do first, okay. We'll just give you a little breakdown on what this report contains. So Southern District continues to make measurable progress in operations, outreach, and partnership. As of September 30, there are 90 active members and 5 district staff and 5 program initiatives, 3 of which are grant funded. That continues to strengthen conservation delivery in the region Our current initiatives include active district membership and producer network, soil health initiative, Southern District Feral Swine Management Program, which is the fencing traffic coordination. Or includes that, technical assistance expansion and SWCD readiness and environmental integration program. As we move forward, the Southern District remains committed to continuing our current efforts and strengthening interagency collaboration to ensure effective conservation implementation throughout the Southern District and across Guam generally. Martha, you wanna?
Going to go ahead and give a performance report, and this is based on fiscal year 2025 as of September 30th. In our membership category, we have, as mentioned earlier, active registered district numbers, up to 9. Right now, we are at 9 numbers and still growing. In our staffing, we have the district administrative, outreach, and technical personnel for a total of 5 staff. In the grant initiatives, we have the REPI Sentinel Landscapes, NACDTA grant, and the Feral Swine Perimeter Fencing Program. So 3 active initiatives are in place there. As far as the USDA agreements, we have signed cooperative agreements to strengthen program delivery and technical assistance, and those are 2 executive agreements that are going on. For transparency and accountability, we have contracted bookkeeping, payroll, and website development services. So therefore, that's 3 service contracts that are in place. District events, for this past fiscal year, we hosted the Guam Educators Conservation Summit, the Conversation Coffee, Stewardship Gala, and Action Planning Session for a total of 4 signature events. Under our collaborative efforts, we partnered with NRCS and Northern Guam SWCD to host the Guam Local Working Group / Stewardship Week, as well as the SWCD election. So there were 3 collaborative events in place. Representation, we delivered Guam's first breakout session during the NACD annual meeting earlier this year, and so that counts as 1 national breakout. For policy engagement, we submitted local and national resolutions. We're proud to say that 2 NACD resolutions, one were both approved unanimously in the past meeting. Also, we have the Stewardship Week proclamation that we put in place, as well as the stewardship resolution. For the regional and national participation, we engaged in NACD's annual summer Pacific Region meeting and the NACD fly-in, spring fly-in, for a total of 4 national events where we represented Southern Guam in all of those off-island conferences and meetings. Leadership development, we're proud to also say that we have our director, Glenn Takai, who graduated earlier this year under the Next Generation Leadership Institute, or NGLI, and still very proud of that young man. And then for regional leadership, again, proud to report that our old chair, Mike Uggan, is one of the executive board members representing the Pacific region and in the executive board. So that concludes my breakdown of our performance report.
Thank you, Martha.
All right, so here we have Northern District's report out for fiscal year 25. I'd like to start off by basically guided by our mission and strengthening the collaboration. We've achieved the significant milestones that have positioned basically the district for the continued growth and long-term impact. So first, I wanted to mention that we launched and executed the Guam's first agriculture symposium in collaboration with Guam Sustainable Culture, Guam Department of Agriculture, and University of Guam. Over the course of 2 days, we had about 150 participants. The next one, we've increased the organizational capacity by hiring our conservation technician, specialists, and now it gives us a total of 4 staff for the Northern District. Currently, there are 2 grants that are under the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. The first one is to connect agriculture and habitat conservation. And the other ones, which basically connect them to the effects on the northern Guam's lens aquifer and the coral reef system. The next one we did was also launch the Northern Guam Conservation website. And it's basically, this sets us up for a district registration form. Currently, there are about 85 submissions. The next one, we've initiated a full week of site visits for the perimeter fencing grants for the applicants. The team has basically began the assessments for participating in properties to connect with the producers. They also had to verify the eligibility and document the current land conditions in those conservation areas. And that was in collaboration with Jay Dornilla's, actually it was with Jay Dornilla's assistant, so USDA and NRCS. We supported the Department of Agriculture, Forestry, Wildfire tabletop exercise. With by Speaker Tony Atta's resolution, so he presented, I did a presentation for Stewardship Week at the legislature's office. The May Harvest event that also just passed, we also participated in that event. And that was also one of our outreach events that we had initiated. Initiated partnerships agreement with the Jigo Mayor's Office, the Winning Mayor's Office, and Nico Hotel Guam. We've also increased the marketing experts with 20 posts totaling in 116,000 plus views, for the majority of posts being collaborated with the Southern Guam Water Conservation District. So let's see, and lastly, we increased the connections with regional partners from the Micronesia Challenge to the U.S. Coral Reef Task Force, as well as the Philippines Department of Agriculture National Organic Agriculture Program. And I guess to kind of conclude everything, I think 2020, again, me being a new chairman, I don't take credit in all this work. However, I will proceed to continue to keep these objectives and hopefully take us to another level of this world and innovation, and hopefully get us more progress towards the mission of protecting and enhancing Guam's natural resources. Though I hope also in my capacity to form these new partnerships and expand the capacity of our team, as well as try and continue to successfully execute these key initiatives that I mentioned, that I just mentioned earlier. So as we do move forward into fiscal year 26, we would remain to be committed to build upon the momentum and continue to strengthen our relationship with the Southern Water District, as well as our partners, and try and pursue new opportunities for conservation and expand our outreach engagement with the community members. I think I will end from there.
Thank you, Chair. Good job.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to number 6, which is committee report. So chair. So long range planning, people.
Okay, so for the long range planning committee, the committee reported that both districts were engaged in the process and had established a goal of updating the long range plan by February 25. Updates were shared during the local work group meeting, which was held on April 30th, where the district staff presented current progress. The committee noted that the engagement efforts will be necessary to continue updating and finalizing the long range plan. So just as a quick background for those of you who are unsure about or don't know about what the long range plan is. This started in 2021. And basically, the long range plan are initiatives for the farmers and the landowners. So we'll go ahead and share with everyone the plan. That was finalized for February 2025. And the comments in the after action report on that plan. And that is all.
DHCD working group, no.
So the purpose of this working group is to close the existing GACD account and to carry out whatever necessary fiscal actions that exist. The group attempted to convene, however, it was determined that both legislative and legal opinions are required before proceeding any further. And so this item is actually, we'll be discussing it more in detail further on down in the agenda. As to what steps need to be taken.
Okay, thank you. And facilities and office space.
Yes, last we met, or did not meet, we discussed over email. We wanted to review, or we were tasked with reviewing renovations for the current space in the ALS building, room 127. We solicited quotes for new furniture, 126, sorry, 126. We solicited quotes for new furniture and renovations, trying to work in the functionality for both boards that are stuck in there. We tried to meet, although after discussions over email, the Northern District expressed interest in pursuing off-site office space or potential acquisition of a university house. Yeah. Different priorities, we did not address this any further. And nothing has changed since then, we're all in the same office, so that's it.
I would like to add that I like to thank for this for tuning up. And they went through, I know, they did the inspections on our office, you know, they went to them. So we're pretty good. The room I asked, the room went fast. So you can bring back all the boxes.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Good. So we'll go to Martha, you gonna cover that for?
Vice Chair Glenn Takai's report, as given to me is that the committee completed the SWCD election and submitted an after action report for review. And you can refer to that report in more details. That's it for this.
Thank you. So, Chair, you have one.
Well, again, as new chair, I think my role here, unless, because I do have a chair member, I'm sorry, a board member that is online that was previously in some of the other committees. If Ms. Normal would like to report out on any of the committee that she's on, I believe it's the GACD committee. Or no, or was it the long range?
The election.
Oh, the election, okay.
If that's the case, Chair, as far as the election committee, the election went very well. everything, was, um, squared away with the committee before the election actually occurred. And then the results of it, obviously, was, due to the hard work of the committees, meetings and stuff. So, all I can say about that is that, if there's any comments or concerns about the way the election went, I just advise that folks, submit a letter, to the committee. And we can certainly give that to the, chair for the election. And, they can note it on their after action report. That's basically it.
Thank you, Director Palma.
Thank you. Just a quick comment on the committees. So we need to decide too on those boards, right, or those committees, whether they're still relevant or keep them or maybe not, and just let them go one through the next year. So that's something we'll think about for the future. And then maybe you guys, the next time we meet, you guys can discuss it in your meeting that will be together and put it, see what we can work together on those committees.
Whether you should keep them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, sorry, we're gonna go back into our own. There's only,
Yeah, well, we'll look at those committees and see what's, we feel like is relevant going forward. I don't know, it's just.
Since we're gonna discuss it as a. Or. I'm sorry?
Would it be advised that we discuss this as a group and maybe make the decision now or?
Yeah, I was trying to give you guys a chance to come back to that issue.
Well, my concern is that, we're going back to what we were before. If we're gonna go back to our separate spots and the top separately as the north and the south. We're supposed to be meeting as GACD or whatever.
No, that's this.
Well, okay, whatever, GACD part two, or whatever.
No, this is still district.
This is still this,
This is not district, it's just we have to switch that. Which needs to be.
I know, but these committees are joint committees.
Right.
They're joined between the two districts,
Right.
yeah. So I would then make the motion to, I guess, just have it discussed now and.
I don't want to make it any longer than it has to be, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's still.
I mean,
It's okay.
Mr. Chair. Can I just ask the board members in attendance, are there any issues with the current standing committees? Yeah, there you go. Are there any, is there a need to stand up any new committees? They were done.
Well, I do see the benefit and then I will move on with the agenda. We're pretty much going to be assigning needs for specific projects. But yeah, there is a need for some new committees such as the Pacific Region Coordination.
Those are
Long
the
Range,
committees or working groups?
they're working groups, committees, what's really the difference for?
But committees are normally long-term. Working groups are specific.
I mean, they are definitely still valuable.
Yeah, I mean, then yes, the way we operate is semantics. So either way, I agree, there needs to be a working group or a committee for upcoming meeting.
Yes.
That should be your priority right now.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep it as so, the current committees.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Just referring to these committees that we just went.
The first standing committees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you asked whether you need to change or do you need to remove any.
Well, I would like to discuss getting rid of the facilities space committee.
Oh, that was a committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, each one of those.
Got
Right,
it.
we're not doing anything, and, we disagree unless we're gonna come together again and.
Well, there is discussion of renovation. Or. That, is that a committee or?
Sorry, well, I definitely think that we need to renovate that place for at least our current space. It's really needs a lot of work. Our district staff has really been and we're storing things outside, so we really need to work together on what we, so the facilities and office spaces still. Rather
I
than,
think you guys have outgrown it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've outgrown it, it's for staff on both sides, yeah,
Or if you start having smaller employees,
yeah.
although this one is easier.
yeah, so anyway, so I guess what we're trying to, and I said we wanted to keep these committees and if they're still relevant and it's still. It's up to your district boards to appoint who will do the same or who will represent on these each as we've done in the past. But I will tell you that the GHCD working group, the purpose of that working group is probably going to be a different purpose as we discuss further. Yeah. Understand. So I guess we are in agreement that these are still relevant.
Yeah.
And the boards will decide who will take the lead since
But I also make the recommendation that as things progress, there should be come off last year. Right? So things happen in between. You might just make it an internal operation policy that if something comes up that deems a committee or working group before, that the chairpersons come together and get the consensus from the district that, hey, we need to stand this up. And then when as such, and that makes it vehicle to stand up committees that way for 6 months.
Yeah, and these committees will also bring up, I mean, address issues, as you say, like you said, through the year. And then they have their working group thing, and then they bring it to their respective boards.
What's important is that each district have their designated representative of that, not just a activity.
Well, and one thing too, I just want to keep in mind that we don't want to have too many of these things with, you know, too many meetings and like.
Some of these may lay dormant for a year, 6 months.
Okay.
And I think it was also, sorry, Mr. Persons, but. Yeah, also it's developing into, like, for example, district operations, education and outreach, legislative policy. Those are the types of committees that are pretty much usual across different districts and associations, but that's where the GACD are the people. That's it.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 7, joint district business. There we go. Is that good?
So yes, for the FY 2026 implementation review, the purpose of this agenda item is really to review our current collaborative efforts, more so the collaboration efforts that are mandated by law. So of course, we are convening our joint annual meeting. And then we'll also, the purpose of this meeting is to talk about our budget development for FY 2027 as well as our work plan, which I'm sure we'll defer to a committee or we have a recommendation in which we'll discuss further on in the agenda. Some of what we are also looking to collaborate is on the stewardship week coordination and the one local working group. So our recommendation for the stewardship week coordination is maybe to assign director leads and have staff coordinate on those upcoming activities. And also save the date everyone for our conservation gala May 2nd. Of course, we want to make sure we're not hosting big events at the same time, so people want to enjoy what we have to offer. And then the Guam Local Working Group, it was a great suggestion by Director Vaughn to host that during Stewardship Week. It seemed that it was very successful and well received. So we like to recommend to host the Guam Local Working Group within the Stewardship Week again. Actually, other SWCDs are looking to do the same thing. I mean, that's our signature event. Stewardship Week is what we celebrate, so it makes sense to have the local at that time. It also gives us ample time to prepare reports, so we can submit so that they do what they need to do and give us the money we need, find money that we need. And I guess the next biggest thing that we'd like to discuss, and which is the next agenda item, is the 2026 Pacific Region meeting, but I'd like to defer back to the chairperson for the North, if they wanted to provide any input on the implementation review and our collaborative projects for FY 2026.
Well, so I guess a quick question on on Stewardship Week, that's gonna be held between, is that end of April? Early May, is that right?
Yeah, so it's usually the last Sunday of April to the first Sunday of May. And according to the calendar, it's April 26th to May 3rd.
With the gala being on second, right?
And the gala will be on the 2nd. And the theme for stewardship is soil,
Where it all begins.
Soil.
Yes.
I don't have any comments, other than I will have 2 directors sign to help with Stewardship Week, as well as, of course, our staff, to be able to assist. And yeah, I do concur, I think the Guam Local Working Group would be best scheduled during Stewardship Week. It just makes perfect sense to have it coincide with each other, so. Unless there's any other objections. I feel like it makes a lot of sense. So we can certainly coordinate.
So amongst your board, you'll just let us know who your events are for the stewardship week and we'll forward along.
Yeah.
Usually, so I just wanna, for a little backstory, for the Guam Local Working Group, actually Director Avon and Director Tommy, who were on the long range plan committee, they also, I don't know for the North, but Director Avon was definitely our point of contact for Guam Law, or Guam Board.
Yeah, I need to go back to the board, go on board notes and see who was.
It was Director Tom Tanaka,
Not yet,
and since he was so busy, he has actually
he signed it to,
me to lead.
okay,
Yeah.
You did awesome. That would be great to have another director at the
Yeah.
time.
I was about to say, yeah. It would be at a director level position to lead and as well as one staff member.
Would it be too much to, I understand that the board still has to discuss,
Yeah,
but we did at the last board meeting, the board had discussing the committees already. So would it fall under the outreach committee? That's already been, that goes into stewardship, or does the board, would they prefer one person for each of them? Like one stewardship and one local committee instead of one person?
right. Well, considering that it is scheduled during stewardship week, I think it would be easier on probably majority of us to keep it up with one person. So that way they can coordinate during that time frame, and just have that as their priority. Instead of having to switch between 2 directors, so. At least.
Lead and the co-lead.
Oh, that's right, yeah, leaving, yeah, okay. So, yeah,
So that sounds like that's like definitely the conversation the Northern District will have for us. Director Martha, she is leading our stewardship and stuff, for like activities in which. Right, currently you're working on booster contests, but one is, it's really up to you guys, how you.
we probably have to report that,
This,
any thoughts, Will? Go ahead and report.
Yeah, you guys can, you know, it's up to you. Something that.
Yeah,
Yeah, where we at?
did.
So. Was it B?
Yes.
2026 NACD Pacific Southwest Region Meeting. Planning and coordination.
So Chairman, did you?
Yeah. So, you know, on this one, right, this is gonna be our big thing for the year. This is something that. Has been building for the last several years. And I wanna say, you know, and I'm not trying to take a credit or whatever, but we've been working on it for quite a while. Roland, before he came, left previously, he was also pushing the Pacific region and on all that and recognition and all that out there, right? And getting the participation. And so to me, I think this is a combination of all of those efforts. Is having the Pacific Southwest Region meeting held on Guam, which has never happened. Since whatever, right? And so it's gonna be a big thing. It's gonna be very special for us here, and I believe it's also the 80th. That anniversary for the NACD. So it's a good way to, because I know, of course, we're gonna, you know, in the annual meeting, they're gonna make a big thing about the 80th, but. You know, all that, but we can also do that as far as the Pacific Southwest region. Because that's basically gonna end the year, so to speak, and as far as meetings, right? So that would be a good thing. So with that said, you know, we need to coordinate properly. We gotta just get this right. And with that, so I'm thinking the chairs here, we will manage as the oversee. We'll try and do, we'll be the overseer of all the committees, whatever's going on. We will be right there, but. We're asking that Erica here, she's gonna be the one taking the lead as far as the operation of this overall thing. Right, okay, because it's something that we've been working on. And we've started it quite a while back already. And we just wanna bring it to its conclusion and make it successful, not just for Southern, for the whole Guam. This is Guam. But everybody here will be a part of it. We just need to make sure that we're working as a team. And you know, being in the fire, there's always, when you have an incident or any kind of operation, there's a structure involved. Okay, and that's what I'm saying, is we need to have that structure, organizational chart. Basically, we call it incident command, right? So we cannot just have people just jumping everywhere, doing things on their own, trying to, you know. Do something that, and it wasn't approved by the board or discussed or whatever, things like that, right? Should I bring up our. What transpired when we went back there? Yeah, I don't really wanna, you know, but I gotta prove a point here that. When we got to Colorado. We got some news that Guam was not capable or up to this, to hosting this meeting. And we were really like shocked from that. And they were already telling us that they're working on getting alternate sites. And most within the states, right? And you know, that was like, whoa, what's going on? We didn't know. And then apparently somebody went up there and in the summer meeting and mentioned that we weren't capable of doing it. We didn't have the funding and he wanted NACD to fund a lot of that stuff, which is totally never been discussed with anybody.
Because they don't have the money to travel.
What's that?
I said, they don't have the money to travel. That's the state.
Yeah. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that we're trying to avoid here. We already had that. We didn't have to fight at that region meeting to keep it. We had a sit down with President Gary Blair and a bunch of the other leadership, Jeremy. And then, thank God, Michael Crowder was there. Who else was on that? You remember? Jim Verlier from, you know, he's like, he's our number one fan. Right? So we really had to, and I told them that, no, we're doing this, there is no other alternative, than you and no. And, so they wanted us, like, we had to prove it, actually. We took a straw poll. We had to come back here and send them a report of what we got going on. Within 1 month, they wanted to see it. And that's why, you know, we did that letter. Prove it. But, so, you know, then when we had the joint meeting later on in that afternoon, Erica actually, well, me and Crowder went up first and talked, but Erica did a whole presentation on the region meeting and all what we're doing, and everybody, then she did the polling, and it was successful. And here we are, we're doing this. Okay? So we don't want mistakes like that again. And that's why we gotta work together and make it happen. And like I said, Chris and I will be on top of everything. We're the chair, so, you know, we'll keep it going. Right? Okay, so everybody, staff, directors, we gotta work together. Even our partners, we already got funding.
Yeah, commitment.
Yeah, we have commitments for funding of at least 100,000 already from the governor. You know, that's a big start. It's not the end, but we got that. Last week we met, right, with the last week.
Yes.
Norma was there. All of them had, so we were at the general. So we were all there, we went to that. Secured that. But we gotta do it right, so please, everybody, we'll work together, okay? This is a big thing that you gotta prove that Northern and Southern can work. Yeah. This is it, this is gonna be the thing. And so the structure we're talking about, right, is the two of us chairs, plus was it one or two other directors?
Yeah, so at least I would then propose, I mean, since you guys did be out there and kind of revived us in getting us to host privilege to host the meeting. I would say then for me, I'd say let's have that one contact. Of course, between you and I, we could oversee, but at least point of contact. And then we on the north side could provide that support.
To that,
Yes.
so yeah, like I said, so Erica's got the whole thing already being mapped out at one, so she'll be that,
So the
worship.
okay.
Yeah, and then all the staff and everyone will have different tasks involved and then work with that. We could have subcommittees or whatever, right?
And I know that I've been working closely with Savannah on it primarily, and the regular non-board. Okay, so just really quickly, thank you, Chairman Isaac. So the meeting is set for August 24th through the 30th. August 24th through the 30th, 2026. This is based on the polling. And what makes sense for a lot of our members. Save the date now.
Yeah.
We were able to conduct, thank you, Director Norma, for helping with this, but we were able to look at different venues, and it looks like Hyatt is the most feasible. And in order to lock that down, we need a $1,000 non-refundable payment. So if your boards can go back and budget for that and work accordingly, but definitely confirming the core planning committee staff need is what we need. Which will come back.
Do you have any idea what the minimum room they're going to be required?
There's no minimum rooms, but we did reserve 50 rooms, 30 standard, 20 upgraded, used to be, so they are availing themselves. We do have the block rate
That's it.
in place, which is great, and then we're able to extend that block rate 5 days prior and 5 days after, because we want everyone to stay as long as they can. When you come to Wyoming, we stay.
Your buddies are coming, bro. Then make sure your barbecue pits.
And I'll have that time with these on standby.
Anything else, Erica?
So, does the board need to officially know that we have stood up, 2020, the Pacific Region Committee? Add that to our list. Yeah. Let us know who you are organizing for that.
Doesn't have to be, it could be.
Later,
Yeah.
after your board meeting. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Start, we have a lot of work.
Yes. Can you project any, like a kickoff meeting for the planning? For this planning, like, should we maybe set up a meeting now for, considering that it's less than a year away?
December 3rd, I believe, is when we are re-engaging with the governor's office, and we have the staff to go over what they can offer. But we did ask the governor's office to also help coordinate with the other agencies to let them know that we're doing this and so that they can support and they're aware.
Everybody's gonna get the memo. And, yeah. So if you're going once support. If whatever we.
Right.
So we can definitely discuss that with the committee.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
All right.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
So we want to see FY 2027 budget and work plan committee.
For us, our recommendation to the board is that, budget submissions are usually due in February to the University of Guam district, so our recommendation is to draft your budgets for FY 2027 and by December 2025 to the chairs, through the chairs. So we can discuss coordinating submission, but also we need to strategize and prioritize our advocacy efforts.
You can also be on certain. Because this is the very good thing that's asked, and
Yeah,
I use stuff to do all the time.
yeah, yeah.
And
And I think I mentioned earlier, there may be a change in how they do the budget this year.
Yeah, I'm talking about having to be,
Yeah, photos are in space.
yeah,
Yeah, so if that's gonna happen, it's a complete different budgeting process. How we're gonna do that, so it might be, so I go to that.
just something that if you money for.
Mhm.
When you do money, 2 for 4.
Or maybe they want you to perform first.
Also have to work credit.
so by December,
Yeah.
you wanna put a date on it?
Yeah, I think we should put a date, well, I mean, considering that you're gonna meet with the governor.
December 3rd.
December 3rd,
You put a thing on to say that that's the date we're gonna meet,
Yeah.
right? What's the date for this thing? So,
because,
To discuss budget?
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so have your budgets ready before that date that we're gonna session.
Right, yeah, so we need to separate those.
That birthday.
Oh, okay.
For our budget. I don't know, I'm open to whatever. Summer first is fine.
December first.
We already have a template.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, we just have this question, as she already has a contact with the rest of the budget. So I'm just asking her to be proactive, reach out and ask them if they have any movement template. And ask the university what's the due date for June. The reason why I asked is because before they say, oh, it was in February. And then they asked the call from the dean, where's your budget in December? I'm like, because the moves, especially with this, with the legislation. Because they change, they do all the time.
I'm sorry, what is that? You have a contact to who?
And then she you.
Yeah.
So just to ask them about templates and when they actually want to report on.
With the OG. Oh, yeah, we have her.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we just wanna make it known and make sure we are all aware that our budgets go through the OT and not BBMR. Or it's
Yeah.
not. That causes a lot of.
Yeah, last year.
Oh, the something to the
What's that?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, so it's UOG.
yeah,
Make sure there's no question about that.
Which I'm sure it eventually goes to BBMR, yeah.
Yeah, but
we're
that's not
our
us,
defense.
yeah.
Our direct.
We don't have
yeah,
that much,
Correct, yeah.
We need to work with our oversight and whatnot.
Yeah.
Our official permission goes. Okay. So December first.
Okay, Guam Association of Conservation Districts, GACD. Boards need to amend bylaws to ensure the ethical and legal compliance and carry out immediate financial action required. So just to give you guys a heads up or a breakdown of that, when we're talking here. I'm sure you're all aware that GACD were, it's been, we let it go for now, because we need some more guidance as far as how to operate them. Due to the ethics law that was recently changed a few years back, right? So with that said, there are some things that need to be addressed. Now, I mean, your financial obligation, right? So one is a reimbursement of districts for the TA 2020 grant expenses. And then the return of a $60,000 mistaken deposit by NACD to GACD. So that, I'll go for the first one, the TA grant, right? Those are monies that were used. When they shut down the GACD. It was agreed that we would continue to manage it, Erica. Right, and there was expenses incurred, and so Southern used approximately $30,000 of funds to run certain programs that we did as a joint group thing. And then there's some other Northern also as a reimbursement involved with that, so that's one. And the other one is a $60,000, that was NACD mistakenly sent the money to the GACD other district account. So now we need to try to get that thing corrected and do the reimbursements back, so that's something. We got some recommendation, we did talk with Barbara and I was surprised that we did that. We're expecting a letter.
Yes, he said he was going to send a letter on the recommendations. Which is essentially what Chairman just noted, that the GACD and its current membership will host a meeting. and carry out the urgent financial actions that need to occur. And then further researching the best budget structure for SWCD. Which is basically we need to amend our bylaws, so what that looks like, we still need to do some research, but we do need to meet. The association needs to meet. And we need to ensure that we give back the money and reimburse districts accordingly. And then we can start the process of amending these bylaws, so that way we are. So are the boards in agreement to schedule a GACD meeting?
Just to rectify these issues. So you guys, we don't have to discuss that, I mean, on the second, right?
Let's.
You want to? Let's decide it.
Deciding meeting date, right?
Yeah, you gotta call the meeting for GACD. That's what we're at.
So according to the bylaws. We're going to host a general membership meeting. And we need to notify 10 calendar days by newspaper of general circulation.
So the members, wanted to clarify, so the members are just they are the board directors for each of the districts, is that right?
The northern
Okay.
and southern soil water districts, each director would
Is-
pay dues, but shall be members of this association, so according to our bylaw. We also have associate members, but those are non-voting members. Who consist of persons, firms, associations, or corporations, who provide financial and technical.
But that's just, that's the part of the stuff that needs to be changed.
Yeah, that needs to be
Yeah, all that.
changed. But as it currently stands, the board members, the board directors are the voting members of the GAC.
So the conflict of interest comes in because of just trying to understand.
Yeah.
The ethical side of things. Conflict of interest comes in because we
We are government board here.
we're a government board here, but. GACD is a nonprofit, got it. Yeah.
Where it comes in and essentially if we're paying dues to this association. And the board is developing a budget of these dues and monies.
Which is great.
Anything else?
We recognize that we can't do that, so, but we do need to handle our obligations and we will assign caretakers to ensure that the financial obligations are carried out. And work to amend these bylaws, but be sound.
Yes, on my next question, and maybe this might be a question for further down the line. How would. What would be recommendations, what part of the amending the bylaws are recommended so that we do not run into this potential problem?
Throw.
Is there
There's a bunch of people that providing input into the shared process. We all have to be very careful, because if there's one thing that's for certain, none of us are going to. Ultimately, the voters have to interpret that based on ethics and rules. So we need to find that person. I don't know if it's the chief, I don't know if it's the legislature, or do we have to let a private vote? And don't ask me.
maybe
Yeah.
for the AG?
No, because the agent represents government agencies. But in that aspect, remember, what they identified, here I am, I'm not a lawyer, but it's a question to ask. You should keep, potentially, you should keep the members there if you don't provide dues from the board. So if GCD is currently functioning on grants and can, come up with a plan to be sustainable, that might nullify the whole problem. Which it did, I'm not alone. But that's what you have to ask alone.
I agree with this sentiment. I think when we do develop the new bylaws, should engage some sort of legal review, whether it's hired or through the resource and development. But
I think it's the move us to try to make it as clean and as low as possible, and then send that to be reviewed. And then say, you know, what you do.
so defer to committee. ATD, defer care, but do we agree that we should maybe set a date?
Yes.
Chelsea really needs to find a graduate receiver. And then to do that internship. Then. To do this.
So, you know, this, GACD is, it's similar to what all the states and territories throughout the country has, which is like a state,
You know, 100%.
association, right, of conservation districts. And that's what GACD was for a while,
The one official one.
yeah, because that is the one that brings you,
That is the seat at the table.
yeah,
That doesn't want, that doesn't want.
to any. Yeah. Just like each state, like, each states, California, they got hundreds of boards, but there's only one association, and that person is the only one that votes.
I mean, is there access to be able to look into their own bylaws to see?
Yeah, you can access the.
Oh, yes.
Well, but by all means.
Sorry, just.
There are 50 bylaws you can refer to. 54 for that.
But the way they have it, the way we have it set up is is exactly the same, where
No,
they have their own governing district.
Oh, no, they're not all the same, the way they,
there are certain,
but
they get
similar.
localized. There are certain laws, certain policies, but from the industry perspective, they only get one representative and alternate from each member state. I'm sorry.
It's our local law that made it different, made it, an issue, you know, yeah. So, you know, we gotta find a way to get around that. Okay.
So are we gonna set a date?
Yeah. Are we looking at next month or?
I don't know if you wanted to get before Thanksgiving, but,
For a start, just.
no, I think we need to immediately handle the financial obligations. That's the main thing. So the sooner we can meet, the better.
Because right now, there is money sitting in the GACD, right?
And you guys
When
like
does
that.
when does that expire, or
If you need
when
that.
do we need to fund that?
I mean, it's already been there for 3 months.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
Thank you.
So if everybody is okay with either the 24th. 25th. Our December 1st and the week of December 1st is filled up.
Okay.
And then everyone just kind of disappears after. So. The 24th or the 25th. So say,
or the 26th.
so I would say, no to the 26th because I'm sure you're gonna be prepping. For
But then,
the next day, I don't wanna get in the way of that. Sure,
yeah,
so 24,
there's a chance I may be coming back from a trip. One more, two.
Okay.
So 25th would be ideal. I just don't know if that would be my return time.
We can also pull it with the December 1st.
I think that would be great, yeah, to just
Yeah,
throw that in instead of having to meet
okay,
twice within the meeting.
let's do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
It is,
So December 1st,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
So December 1st, with everyone else. Okay, Dr. Zola, Dr. Director Bill. Also for the record, Director Martha is now attending the Zoom and Director Yvonne had to step out. To attend to an emergency. But we still have more. And then sign. Chairman.
Okay. So what's going on? Wait, so it's sign, sign those.
December 1st.
Okay.
Number 8, NACD updates. That would have been-
7.
Oh. Huh? Oh, what are we on? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let it be, right? Could be. Yeah.
Okay. So the NACD Pacific Southwest Region meeting plan, that was,
We're on MSCD updates question.
huh?
We're on 8, yeah, you're.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so so this is the one that we, so every year the last few years, we've been rotating our representation when we go to the states. And so Joe was performing those duties this past year.
Yeah.
And so coming in February, the next time, it's gonna rotate to the summer. So Glenn Takai is our gonna be taking the lead on that.
Okay.
And I would recommend being my first guy, and you know, it's a common practice. Is you're the chair for the, so you take the vice alternate. Representative. Normally, like I was going to get it in the past, right, but we could all executive board, I don't, yeah, so yeah, that's why Glenn is the vice chair. Taking that role. Okay, and since you know, the chair, they all use, I, but you guys.
Yeah, we'll bring this back to our. See if there will be
I mean, that's why Joe was doing the last survey, that's, yeah.
yeah, okay.
Okay, engagement program.
Just so everyone's aware, Glenn Takai was elected to serve as the Pacific Region Vice President. Rick Gomez from California is our chair of the Pacific Region. And currently Juan is assigned to the legislative committee. And there are other subcommittees in which district representatives are assigned. Currently for the South, we do sit on the invasive species committee and the water and climate subcommittee. Does the North have any committees that you're sitting on or according to on a regular?
This is my, that needs.
Yeah, Yeah.
Not it's okay, we're really just assigned to the legislative committee, but we kind of sit in on those other ones.
Right.
So engagement programs and upcoming events, as you all know, the annual meeting is coming up. So get your rooms secured and your airfare or decide who's representing. It's the 80th year and I believe the theme is the good one, it's deep roots, full horizons. We're looking at, we are looking at presenting, we submitted 2 breakout sessions. So hopefully we get approved to conduct our breakout sessions. Resolution submissions are due in December, so Chairman Chris, I'll go ahead and share that information if not already done so by Joseph's office.
There, sorry, a quick question on, the agenda. Is there, you guys submitted 2, is that right?
Yes,
Presentations or 2
breakout session,
breakout sessions? Okay.
abstracts, I guess, or so
Is there a call for abstracts?
there was a call for a breakout session.
Is that related to,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
They did extend it a little bit.
Okay.
And it's, don't worry, there'll be a couple more. This year was election year, so with the dramatic changes within the right, it's something understood, so, but next year you guys will have your feedback. Okay, if you want to do something else.
Sure.
And then you'll be within the timeline together. If, that's all, it's understood, yeah, okay.
Just want to shout out Savannah, she did awesome.
Yeah.
For the Pacific region breakout sessions.
Great.
That first one for the North.
Yeah,
also.
good.
But there is a resolutions process that, we are planning to submit 2 resolutions, this, in the end, the deadline, we'll share that information. Regarding girls 9. And that also our poster contest submission to the national contest is due. Johnny, did you have any updates on that?
Sure.
And I go to Dana there.
Yeah. So Rosanna and I have been working on finalizing our judges for the occasion. We are accepting our physical submissions next week at the Guam Museum during regular working hours, but times that teachers or students, parents and guardians can come into the Guam Museum and drop it off during the regular working hours, their posters. And then we will go, we'll grab them. And then next few weeks, it's gonna be a lot of scanning and uploading and filing and doing our best to assist our judges in getting their scores in by the 19th of November. Following that, we would like to have that poster submission to the NACD contest, the national contest. The deadline is December 1st. We're gonna try and do it the week before, so that last week of November. I have some great with that poster submission. So that's about it. So far, we have had some teachers express interest, and they've said that they would be having their students participate, especially our teachers who participated in our symposium, our educator symposium. They said, yeah, I have my biology students or my gay students. So there has been some interest from teachers, and yeah, it's so far.
Do you know what schools are currently participating?
So the schools, the teachers that confirmed that they would have their students participate are Academy of Our Lady of Guam. Now, Marshall A. Sablon Elementary School. And there's one more that I think I'm forgetting. Oh, Talapopo Elementary School. Those are the teachers that came back to us and said, yeah, I'll have my students do it.
Is there any more calls for participation in this, or it's kind of ready to date to? Should be
If
ready.
they can have a poster done by Halloween next week, they can participate.
I see.
But we are planning to do a post, just to sort of announce the submissions are happening next week. Yeah.
Everybody, this is Dr. Kwan. I don't know if you know him, but I'll have a partner. Oh. We are partnering. Yes, upcoming event.
Yeah, so we have a conference coming out next Wednesday at Hyatt. So really appreciate the district's help. So this time we do it a little bit different, but from the last year. So we actually try to not just focus on the fund space, the mental health stuff, but we also try to deliver some the keynote sessions, especially targeted in the community development to help economic recovery. And we also have a dinner event, so we're gonna showcase the cooperation between Taiwan GCC and Hyatt and even the high school students. So that's the one way we try to promote the local agriculture. But thank you so much for your support and let me know if you have any questions.
We're good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, okay.
All right. Is that the move from Jake? Okay, Johnny, are you done or are you
Yes,
good?
yes. Or if there are no further questions, I see my hand.
Thank you for that. Thanks for that good effort, Dan. You and your team. Who's your team again?
Myself, Rosanna, and anyone else that I messaged for something that I need.
Or you messaged me?
Yeah.
So-
Thank you for your signatures, chairs.
Yeah. You know what?
Your approval means everything.
Good job, guys. Okay, moving on. To item 9, miscellaneous. We're good, yeah, okay, well, I just wanna bring up one thing here so that we can, have a good understanding on these issues, right, so. So for over the several years, Southern Guam has been consistently championing feral swine management and advocacy at both the local and national levels, right? Building the foundation for much of the work now underway. To maintain consistency and integrity of these efforts, we respectfully request that all district correspondence or advocacy initiatives related to feral swine be developed in collaboration with the Southern District. For example, the letter to James Moylan, as that was something that we already advocated for during the GIS conference, meeting. So that's all we're saying. We're gonna collaborate and work together so that we'll have one voice going forward in any effort, because I mean, we've literally got a lot of work in this in the farm bill, in the other NACP initiatives out there, and then, you know, so we just want to make sure we're on the same track.
Yeah, well, glad you brought that up, because I know in the last GIST meeting. I know there was the discussion of writing this letter to Congress. And I don't know if it was. There was no. There wasn't tasked to anybody to write the letter. And I don't know if there was the assumption that it was either the director that was gonna write it or. The director.
During the governance committee meeting, Director Chelsea assigned it for the 11th district to write it, so I will, whichever to.
And that's okay, but what we're saying is, let's collaborate on the letters before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Okay, we just wanna make sure that we have the same thing going forward. So. Anyways, other than that, next meeting. You guys want to set a date or?
We have it December 1st, I don't know if that's gonna be like an official meeting. It was more of a work session to kind of get together,
Yeah.
discuss it out further, but. The next meeting is the GACD. meeting.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to invite everyone on Saturday to the fall fall harvest market. It's gonna be in Zonia at the GSC Resiliency Hub. And there's gonna be local farmers and small businesses.
What's the time of that again?
2 to 7.
2 to 7. Oh,
That's.
Advertise.
how about
Advertise
So,
1 to 7.
1 to 7?
It's gonna be nice.
That's by the house I grew up. This is my star home.
Where?
I grew up in Lumberlands.
Where?
Around, you know, to Machete.
What's the name of that street again?
Shut up.
Public, please don't look up where I used to.
What's the name of the street?
It's named after my grandma, Victoria Torres.
I know that road going,
Yeah,
who's your? Never
we
mind.
can talk after.
Yeah.
I think we might be.
Okay. That was my stomping ground.
So,
I think just before we move to adjourn, I just wanna make sure we go over our due outs, so it's clear. So the first one, going back to the committees, we just are going to assign your district leads for each of these committees in which we're keeping. The long range planning committee. Does the board? Do we agree that we should just merge that with the long local working group?
yes, we
Is
did.
that?
We did, yeah, mention that, so stewardship week, and
So stewardship week coordination is
Wait.
something different aside from long local working group.
Right.
But do we need a committee for that? We just kind of work within our own districts and then come together. Is the board's feel we should have something formalized, otherwise?
what. I think it would then make sense to have our next joint board meeting before that, and then that could be discussed upon, what do you think? Maybe
For stewardship week?
before stewardship week, that way we can talk, so that, you know, we're working. Right, we work with our district and then. And then before stewardship week. And the Guam week, well, I mean, they're both in the same week, right, so, I would say it would be best to. To meet before then, and that could cover our basis in discussing what we want for stewardship week.
Could that be deferred to you?
Do we, I don't know if we have committee that. Yeah. Would there be a need to create a committee for
Stewardship week.
stewardship week? And, oh, that's right, that would be education. But also the local working, right? That's good. I mean, yeah, I don't know, I would feel like it would make more sense that the districts can come back and meet again. Since this is again, this is a joint district business, right, so. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are.
I think we can remain status, well, my suggestion is remain status quo for now. Then the boards can discuss it, if that's what they want to. But I think GAC to. Just a status quo for now. But I don't.
Okay.
I definitely think the long range planning and the local working group just perish and go to our.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Well, that's.
That's it too.
that's fine, yeah, so we need to meet with us, right? I wanna meet with you guys more. Okay,
Okay.
all right, sound good.
Okay, and then the next one, we have the Pacific Region Committee, so of course, yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
And then let us know who your alternate representative will be for Guam. From the northern. And then the budget, we already discussed that, December 1st, we will have the election. The work session.
Yeah. Okay, so did we get the next meeting already?
So the next meeting, I just wanna note really quick that we are currently alternating, so bi-monthly partner, bi-monthly. What, does the North have a set time of date in which you host your regular meetings, or is it kind of changing? Okay, for us, we have our meetings every third Wednesday of the month. That's our business meeting, and then every other month, we meet with our partners on the second Wednesday, but every month we're meeting. So it's. Presents, I think, choose.
So yeah, it's always been, I don't think we've had to change our meetings.
Yeah, so we're not like, on 15th, last over, land. So first Tuesday.
Think we're done. I'll just let me know, or I'll reach out to Savannah. If you're ready. And us with another test thing.
Yeah, I think we're set, so. Okay,
Sounds good.
okay, motion to adjourn.
The second.
We got any, you make the motion in a second?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you guys. Thanks for the patience.
Alright, good night, guys. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's done great.
The meeting.
Well, no, there's, yeah, no, I'll do the 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Looking at that, it's very fast, I think, oh, yeah.
Dr. Dilla, I forwarded you that information already for.
Yeah, I saw, thank you.
Have a good night. Are we talking about? So, and I had it was like, all weeks.